Motorcycles, as a relatively inexpensive vehicle, were once an important equipment for the military to enhance mobility. Although their carrying capacity is relatively weak, they are very useful for tasks such as battlefield reconnaissance, patrol, and communication. In recent years, the presence of military motorcycles has decreased significantly, but that doesn't mean they have completely disappeared. Many countries have retained their organization, and for example, the Kawasaki M1030 is the standard motorcycle of the US military. The M1030 is a modified version based on the Kawasaki KLR 650 sport motorcycle. Motorcycle enthusiasts might be familiar with the KLR 650, which is not known for its speed, but is very suitable for long-distance adventures and travel. Many players abroad like to ride it for intercontinental travel, which shows that the bike is very reliable. In fact, converting civilian motorcycles into military motorcycles is quite simple, as motorcycles do not have the requirements for armor or firepower output. The biggest challenge is that the civilian version's engine does not match the military's fuel supply system. The KL650 uses a single-cylinder liquid-cooled 4-stroke gasoline engine, producing 36.5 horsepower, while the M1030 uses a 23-horsepower single-cylinder gasoline engine. In other aspects, there are not many major changes compared to the KLR 650, with the front and rear suspension, brakes, etc. being the same. However, the M1030 has added 2 detachable small boxes, which are hung on the sides of the vehicle body for convenient transport of documents and other goods. The Kawasaki M1030 entered service in the 1990s, replacing the previous KLR 250 used by the US military. Although it rarely appears in the media, it has always been very active, and later 2 upgraded versions were introduced. The M1030B1 was equipped with a 48-horsepower single-cylinder gasoline engine and a 5-speed gearbox, and the small boxes were removed, greatly improving its off-road performance. The M1030M1 is probably the most common version. It uses a 38-horsepower single-cylinder diesel engine, which can use the military's JP8 fuel. Although the horsepower is reduced, the characteristics of the diesel engine further enhance its off-road capabilities. The maximum highway speed is nearly 90 km per hour, fuel efficiency is improved, and the maximum range is about 600 kilometers, surpassing most civilian motorcycle models. In addition to the 3 versions mentioned earlier, there is actually another version that replaces the engine of the M1030M1. It uses the M1 multi-fuel engine, which can use a variety of fuels according to NATO standards, including JP4, JP5, JP8, kerosene, and diesel. Motorcycles equipped with this multi-fuel engine have similar power to the M1030M1, with no significant performance changes, but refueling logistics becomes much easier. The US Marine Corps has upgraded their M1030M1 motorcycles with this kind of engine. The US military has used the M1030M1 motorcycles in actual combat, and some motorcycles have been sent to the Middle East. In modern battlefields where automatic weapons and grenade launchers are so prevalent, motorcycles have a weak survival capability on the front lines. Even the UN peacekeeping forces widely use various types of armored vehicles for patrols, and motorcycle teams are rarely seen, which also indicates some issues indirectly. In the past few years, many M1030 series motorcycles have been retired and entered the civilian market for sale. These second-hand military motorcycles are very popular, and their selling prices vary greatly depending on the condition of the vehicles.